going to talk about curses. What is a curse? And how can we clear it? And what is a curse? A curse is when a person uses intention to direct harm to another. Conscious, energetic intention in order for a person to be harmed or for them to have control over a person or to control a person to do something. Now, sometimes a curse can be a person was either skilled, like, I'm going to do this thing. I got a piece of their hair and I'm going to do this thing. I'm going to do this thing to them. That'll show them they know what they're doing, right? Or it could be they hired somebody who works with entities, or they could work with entities. There's a lot of ways that a person can curse a person consciously and with intention. But another way that a person can curse another person is by having regular, repeated, resentful thoughts of wishing harm upon them or wishing ill upon them. And this happens a lot, like when you get out of a relationship with someone. I had a client one time who she just really struggled with this because he hurt her so bad. He hurt her so bad. She just wanted him to feel the pain that he made her feel. And that's common. That's common. A lot of people experience that. When you're in heartbreak, you want that person to feel that same level of heartbreak that you felt. And she really struggled with letting that go. And what she was doing though, and this is important to remember, is any intention you put out towards another, you have to generate that within yourself to put it out towards another. So if a person has intention to harm someone or to hurt someone and they're bringing their conscious awareness in with the energy of it, they're actually inviting that into their lives as well, into their own lives. And they may not realize that. A lot of people who do energy work, they don't know that whatever they're conjuring up towards another person or putting out towards another person is actually also going to manifest in their own lives. In their own lives. I've seen this time and time again. In fact, I actually made this own mistake myself when I was first learning magic. If you're familiar with Wicca, the karmic implications of harming someone is threefold. That's if you're not conscious of it. If you are conscious of it, the karmic implications are tenfold. Tenfold. Why? Because you know that you're doing it in energy. And why is it tenfold though? Is it because there's some divine group of beings that are like, well, you get the 10 times sentence for intentionally directing negative energy towards someone else? No, it's tenfold because in order to direct it to someone, you have to bring it up within yourself. And so you're going to be experiencing it too. If my client who just couldn't let go of her desire for him to hurt the way she hurt, if she goes to someone and she's like, do some work for me to make him feel the same pain that I felt when he left me or when he did me dirty, she still has karma, even if she's not actively the one who's doing the work. She commissioned it, so she has definitely going to have that price to pay. And what ended up happening, she continued to feel heartbreak. She continued to feel heartbreak. Her heartbreak worsened. It didn't lighten. It didn't get better because that same heartbreak that she was wishing on him, she was just bringing more of into her own life. And when I say I made this mistake myself, it was when I was first receiving my magical training and I was a bartender and there was a guy who would come into the bar and we started dating and I really liked him a lot. And I was like, and I was serving him his beer, right? So I was like, I'm just going to charm his beer to make him like me more. But what did I do? I broke free will. So what ended up happening? What ended up happening? I ended up liking him more and he ended up liking me less. It backfired. Anytime you do anything against free will, it's going to backfire and it's going to like kind of come back. So what I should have done, what I would have been cleaner and better approach, I should have just like took my own drink and charmed it to make me more likable. Though I'm inviting in that in and I'm not messing with free will, and that's a clean way to do it. And it would have achieved my goal better. And I have to share all of this with you so that you kind of understand the principles of how it works when people do put intention into harming someone else. So, for one, they're harming themselves when they do that. And for two, because you can't generate that energy and direct it outward without it being generated for yourself, you see? And those entities, right? Those entities, if they're working with entities, well, it's the same as any other friggin' entity. The same as any other friggin' entity. And so like and or a binding can last a very, very long time. A very long time. But what people who do bindings don't know is that if they bind someone, they're also binding themselves. They're also binding their own power to this person that they hate. They're diminishing their own power and strength in the binding. So I don't recommend any of it. Of course, I don't recommend any of it. The mechanics of what we're dealing with here on an energetic level. So to clear a curse, the first step is asking the question, has anybody put a curse towards me? And you can ask the question, and then you're going to scan for your answer. You can ask your angels, if there are any active curses towards me right now from anybody, whether they're conscious or unconscious of it, can you please show me an image of it in energy that I can work with to clear it? So I'm going to take my example case here. I see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. They look like just, I don't know, balls of energy, bad dark, like dark conglomerations of energy in front before her. So six curses on her and they all fell mostly from her family. So I'm going to point them out to her in astral and inviting her divine team in and telling her, well, you can clear these. And so she's gathering them all up. Well, okay, there is a part of her that wants to take them and then just like slam them back at her family. But I'm just stopping her. I'm like, hey, if you slam those back at your family, that your angels aren't going to help you, for one. And then the karmic implications are going to be the same. She's like, she calmed down a little bit and she's like, okay, she's surrendering them over to her divine team. And her divine team's accepting them and clearing them for her. And it was just that easy. And then angels, please clear any entities and attachments that were associated with these. Yeah, if you can get an image of a curse, of an energy, that's just so easy to work with. And I think that those 6 balls that I saw, it was almost like a tangled, matted ball of string or cords or something. But clearing them. And using visualization, you can dissolve them, break them down, dissolve them. Step 3, yeah, is angels, please clear any entities and attachments that are targeting me coming from these curses or coming from these people. And then, of course, step 4 is always going to be nourishment. You want to bring in that healing energy to yourself. Just like the intention is I'm bringing some healing energy into whatever area of my energetics that these were harming, that I was getting harmed by these. And it would really just be a lot of the same steps that you would take for recovery from entity attack or psychic attack. And I'm going to check on our example case in astral. She's looking so much better. She's feeling so much better too. Oh, you know what they're telling me? Oh, I'm so glad. Okay. Depending on the curse, right? We want to untangle it. It's a tingle. It needs to be untangled. And when you do a binding on someone, you're wrapping, right? Well, if you're going to undo the binding, you want to unwrap it. So you're going to unwrap the curse. You're going to unbind yourself by taking that tingle and unbinding it. And then at the center is probably going to be a lot of your personal power. Yeah. The other thing is too, neutrality. The more you're in neutrality, the less it can affect you. The more you're in neutrality, the less it can affect you. If you're having a lot of hostility, psychic, those broadcasts towards anyone who's thrown a curse at you or negative energy or psychic, this counts for all of them, whether somebody's got a psychic attack towards you or entity attack towards you or a curse towards you. If you are in neutrality towards them, it's going to have less effect on you because it's going to have nowhere to land. And you're in neutrality, you're in flow. It's going to come at you. It's not really going to have anything to stick to. But as soon as you get triggered or agitated or responsive or reactive, well, that's more power comes into it, right? And it keeps and it feeds it, and then it can get bigger. So whenever you find yourself in that state too, you can just be like, okay, I'm reminding myself of my neutrality. I'm reminding myself of my neutrality. And it's easier to clear when you're in neutrality too. So I'm clear. I'm going to get a neutrality and I'm going to clear this. Neutrality would be that detachment. Yeah. Oh, and another thing that we want to do is we want to ask ourselves, am I putting out any curses? Because divine justice, if you're asking for justice, you want to make sure your own slate is clean. You want to make sure your own table is clean. Ask yourself, am I putting out any curses, or have I put out any curses that I can release now? Now that I'm conscious, now that I'm evolved, now that I'm aware, now that I didn't realize it. If you've been putting out curses without consciously realizing it, which, like we were saying, a lot of times when we go through a breakup, we do. I know I would be like, I hope you end up in a relationship where you are treated exactly the same way that you treated me. Is that a curse? I mean, I don't know. Probably. But I mean, like, it's gonna happen anyway to them. Everything always comes full circle. The angels want me to, again, just remind you and just reinforce this so it really lands. It's the more of any conscious or unconscious curses you've put out over your life, if you're willing and ready to surrender them, hand them all over to your divine team. I surrender these. I release these. I surrender any curses I've been putting out or ever put out. I surrender them. I hand them all to my divine team. They're going to be a lot happier and a lot more able to help you clear anything that was put towards you or sent your way. So it may be a good idea to first release any curses you've put out, and then ask the question, do I have any curses towards me? Can you help me clear those? And then untangle them and take them apart. You want to take them apart in astral, especially the sophisticated curses, because they involve elements. They involve elements. You're going to be better able to clear them if you know how they operate. So sometimes the darkness does ultimately serve the light. And I also say that angels gave me this saying, and it's that every poison contains a bit of the cure. And that's the principle of homeopathy. And that's the principle of, like, like snake venom. Like, people will take snake venom to extract the antivenom. Every poison contains a bit of the cure. Same can be said for these invasive energies too. Every poison contains a bit of the cure. You extract the cure from it. And you can take your curse and you can extract your cure from that tingle. And then release the tingle. Keep your cure. And then once you extract that cure, you carry the code. You carry the healing. You become the medicine. You become the frequency. You become the medicine. You become the healing. So anybody you interface with who's had similar experience, just being in your presence, they're going to clear, they're going to heal, they're going to restore. You're the medicine.